Welcome to SpiceCandies. We're trying to make a coffee candy again. This time we're going to be using tapioca powder. Tapioca is a starch, and we're going to try and replace the starches that failed, meaning the potato flour and the corn flour. So let's get to it and try this one. I think we have too much starch. Let's try a lower amount. We're at 150 degrees Celsius, and you can see this is hardening. And we're getting the same sizzling sound. Definitely hardening. A whole slab of this now. Oh yeah, it's reacting. And no doubt. It's getting harder and harder. Well, 3 out of 3, but I wouldn't say useless, but it's a matter of dosage. We'll have to drop it considerably lower. Oh no, the candy, it is some sort of candy, isn't it? I can't touch it because it's 150 degrees Celsius. I can just barely hold it. If I grab hold of it instead of just holding the edges that are air cooled, I'm gonna get burnt. So you can feel the radiating heat from that. So I think it's a matter of dosage. I think it's a matter of getting the right starch, the one that can break down while cooking it as a candy. And I do have an idea. So this is barley flour, basically speaking. I have no idea if this will work. Basically speaking, the barley candy recipe requires boiling the barley as is, meaning not the flour but the seed itself, for 5 hours, then candy making using certain percentage. So let's give it a shot. I'm not going to boil it for 5 hours. That means I'm going to be finishing with the candy at 4 a.m. So yeah, let's put a sustainable amount, 1/4 cups of boiling water, and I'll be mixing it. Let me get that out of the way before I get burnt. I'm mixing it thoroughly. I'll let this settle and we'll see. Right, our solution, or should I say suspension, has been cooling off. And let's see if I can filter it, because letting it sit doesn't really help. There we go. Right, so once sifted, I think we got rid of most of the clumps and we can give it a go. Let's try it. That is definitely a gel. So we have quite a bit of starch here. I think we should start at a lower amount, and that was not a lot. Very interesting. Very gooey. Still looks rather clear though. Brownish but clear. Alright. Let's put this one aside and see what we can do with considerably less. So test number one is crispy, really rock hard, and tastes just like sugar, nothing fancy. Trial number two is gooey, very, very gooey. So yeah, it's very, very gooey, but you know what? I think it's just a matter of quantity. So first things first, I'd like to point out that this is extra sticky. Oh yeah. Definitely, if you're looking for a glue and you're out of glue, that's the stuff. Not that the ants are not gonna love it. And it's definitely holding. I can literally lift the pot with it. It's not that. And it's stirring and it's very sticky. But oh no. Let me try that. Sweet. Tastes rather nice. I don't think we can cook it further, but it does have a flavor of its own. It's really, really nice. I'm thinking toffee. We'll have to find a use for that. It's really interesting. And still I'm not done with this concept of starch instead of corn syrup. Sugar. Barley. Very little of it. And water. Spilled some. There we go. Amazingly, it looks like it's working. Looking normal. Does feel a little bit more sticky, but hey, that's really amazing. Now the most amazing part is that you're supposed to cook the barley for 6 hours, 5 hours, and then use the water only. And we're using just plain barley flour. That's it. Of course, the reason for the barley flour is because the barley has quite a bit of starch, like any other type of flour, but the consistency, the ingredients, the chemicals that comprise this are completely different, of course. The base for the starch is, I'm guessing, quite a bit the same, but the rest should be different. Right, we've reached the hard crack stage. I'm turning off the heat. It looks clear. It looks really, really nice. Let's try the Holy Grail. So far, with all my substitutes for corn syrup, I've never been able to make a decent coffee candy, meaning the coffee dissolving into the candy. Before I do that, I'm going to take a sample. Looks really clear, very stretchy. Don't know if you can see the line there, but it's very, very stretchy compared to the normal candy. Don't get drips and drizzles that are that long. Just poured a small candy. Let's add the coffee. Here we go. Tell you what, it appears to be dissolving. Alright. Does it foam on us? Oh yeah. Look at that. It does foam. Wow, that's impressive. Well, a common starch trait in candies. They work wonderfully until you cool them or add something. Yeah, it's crusty. I can break the surface. Very, very hot. still 150 degrees Celsius. Sorry, 160. This reaction possibly have tossed it over the edge, or the bottom of the pan was too hot. Both options are good. And we got powdered. That's very interesting. I think we're going to be playing with barley for quite some more time. I'd actually like to see if I can lower this effect and get a decent candy out of it. I'm going to do that off camera. It's going to be very, very repetitive and boring for you guys, but if I get to something that actually works, I'm going to show you. Oh no, very interesting. I think this will conclude my online starch as a replacement for corn syrup idea. I don't think I'll keep making videos on that. I think you guys are going to be bored, but that being said, I find this really, really fascinating. I'm also willing to believe this is not hygroscopic anymore, meaning it's not going to absorb water, and that's a very interesting feature because normal candy is extremely hygroscopic. Let's move to the bench and I'll summarize this and say goodbye for this video only. So this is extremely fascinating because we got a foaming sort of method to make flour, and I'm touching it really carefully because it's still burning hot, but it's really a sort of a nice granular structure. You could, I guess, grind it to a fine powder and use it as a cookie dough filler or whatever, I don't know. Now this is the piece I poured just a second ago. It too foamed up. You can actually, and give you a better contrast, you can actually see the bubbles here, and it's hard. It's a hard candy, basically speaking. What do I think about that? Well, this one hardened. It tried to foam up, but hardened because it cooled too fast. So this tells me actually that you may actually want to lower the temperature at which we cast our candy to 140 maybe, I don't know, I'll have to test it. But this will conclude my topic on starches for candies, for corn syrup free candies, and off camera I'm going to keep on trying. And now an apology to my viewers. As you've been noticing, I haven't been uploading videos consistently in the last 6 months, I think even more, maybe a year. And I've been wanting to do so many things. I have several projects I can show you. I have several projects I want to do, and I just don't find the time for it. Basically speaking, getting home from work at a very late hour, starting early, kind of ruins the spare time a day one has usually. So I'll try and boost up the speed, but I can't promise it. So apologies for the irregularity in my videos. See you soon. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been fascinating, very interesting and new to me. And have a sweet day. Bye bye.